Ambassador Watson, please. We're honored to have you here in our chambers.
I am absolutely
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
with
Fucking
all
OBS, man.
of you individuals
Fucking OBS.
who come to honor me. How did I get?
No, OBS dropped on me because again, and I think that's why we're missing this scene. I did the update this morning. As soon as I did the update, the scene went missing, and now it just automatically OBS dropped. I thought it was the internet. It wasn't. It was OBS. So I had to restart everything. So I apologize, and it's not my day-to-day with this shit. The gremlin is here.
My father was the first African American police officer in Los Angeles. His name was William Allen Lewis Watson Felix Jr., named after all of his uncles. And then he passed away at 59, but my mother lived to 100. And I know that they are up there blessing me as you all, everyone in this room, any animals around even, have honored me by allowing me to represent you at various levels. So I say to each and every one of this room, you are magnificent because you knew that leadership had to go on. And all the young people, I taught school, I taught the 5th grade, and I made all of my students know
What's up, Minnesota?
very
Man,
soon
man.
they will be leaders and will bring others along. So it's important that our children know that they have a voice in government, but they have to run for it. So I thank every one of you for allowing me to come and sit at your board. These flowers are beautiful. They have to grow, because if they grow, I grow too. So thank you for this marvelous, marvelous day, and all of you
I don't think we're
for
getting any rain
believing
here.
in me.
They were
and
talking
for
about it,
sending
but
me
it
forward.
went from 50% to 30% real quick. So if I get anything, maybe a 1/10 of an inch, maybe just sprinkles kind of shit. Remember, it's fear mongering. Even with a storm that's not going to kill or do anything to anybody. You remember the hurricane? They got federal funding for the hurricane. Like, yeah.
Well, we thank you for your decades of service and your extraordinary legacy that you leave to the state of California and to our nation. Thank you very much, and happy birthday, Diane Watson.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Next, I'd like to recognize Councilmember Park.
It's raining there. Where you at,
Council
John?
President.
It was fucking 80 degrees yesterday almost. 78, 79. No goddamn rain. No no precipitation here. I don't care. I don't know.
Councilmember Park.
Man,
Might have
come on.
about motions.
Leave me alone with this
Amendments.
shit, dude. What is going on?
Councilmember Park, before you begin, I would like to recognize Councilmember Hernandez for
Thank you.
A motion.
For 29, the amendment has been introduced, so if the city attorney could read it, and we have an additional amendment for 37.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
So on item 29, Mr. City Attorney, if you could please read that into the record.
Yes, the motion for item number 29 reads that I move that item number 29 on today's council agenda, instruction 1, be amended to add the following. Analyzing any budgetary line items, salary amounts, or other programmatic or service areas that could be improved with additional funding.
Okay, and is there a second for that? Mr. Blumenfield, second it? Okay, thank you. And what's next? Councilmember Hernandez, Councilmember Hernandez, was there another amendment that you had, or that's
Yes, I believe the city attorney has the additional amendment
You
for
seen
number 37.
Spindler?
for 37? Okay, very good.
Missed him.
Just one moment, Mr. President.
I can read it as well if you need to. Okay.
Oh man, the Padres owner passed away. Peter Seidler, 63. He was young.
Okay.
Yeah, 63.
I don't. Santi, do you have the
Young dude.
Okay,
I'm trying to catch up with everything.
Yeah, Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank
did
you,
have
Michelle.
that available?
Appreciate
Oh,
you.
do you have it,
Thank you,
Mr. City
Michelle.
Attorney? If not, Councilmember Hernandez. Okay, Councilmember Hernandez, please go ahead on your motion.
Okay. Actually, I don't have the copy with me right now, so.
Brandon, the
apologies.
forecast in Tucson.
I-
Oh, we do have it. Sorry.
Pretty much
Thank you,
disappeared.
City
Yeah.
Attorney has it.
Adrian
Go
Martinez,
right
thank you
ahead.
so much for the Twitch Prime, and of course,
The motion
to the
reads
family.
that I move that item number 37 on today's council agenda, instruction 1, be amended as follows. Request the city attorney, with the assistance of the Los Angeles Housing Department, LAHD, to draft an ordinance to temporarily
that's
set
crazy
the
model.
rent
Young.
increases for units covered under the rent stabilization ordinance February 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2024, to be calculated by the rent formula allowable under the RSO based on specifically the Consumer Price Index from October 2022 through September 2023, compared to October 2021 through September 2024, or 22, that's 4%, and here's the new language, regardless of utility arrangement. And that's the end of the language.
Yeah, it is a
And
little
there
bit out of
second
sync
for that?
because you're watching it on one
there a
screen and
second?
hearing it from the other,
It's a CD 13.
thanks
Oh,
to the one of my
okay.
scenes disappearing.
Okay, we're going to assume for the moment that that will be in writing and it'll be signed by CD13. So, or he can acknowledge that when he's.
So I'm gonna have to get that fixed.
All right. Anything else? Okay, with that, Councilmember Park.
Thank you, Council President. November marks the celebration of
Bro,
Transgender Awareness
Oh
Month.
my
a
God,
time to
how many more, bro? This is
recognize
4.
and uplift
Now it's Transgender
the
Month.
voices and invaluable contributions of the transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming communities to
Gender
Los Angeles
non-conforming
and the
community.
entire nation. I am incredibly grateful for the leadership of LA Civil Rights and the Los Angeles Transgender Advisory Council.
Oh my God, I
for
just can't
pioneering
even.
policies
Gender
for a more equitable Los
non-conforming
Angeles
community.
for the trans community.
Gender non-conforming
This work would not be possible
community.
without
Got
the
it.
tenacious leadership of the chair of the Transgender Advisory Council, Mother Karina Samala. A visionary for the rights of transgender people and an inspiration for the next generation of trans activists, Mother Karina embodies the absolute best of Los Angeles. For her trailblazing
That's why I had to say it like 4 times so my pea brain could get it. I have like a 62 IQ.
Inaugural Mother Karina Samala Trans
just wanna make
Impact
sure.
and Legacy Award. This will be an annual award that tributes an individual or organization that has made
Karina
meaningful
Samala?
impacts to advancing the rights of transgender Angelinos. So please help me in congratulating and celebrating the Mother Karina Samala Trans Impact and Legacy Award. I'm gonna let you speak.
Oh man, wait a minute. So the cops got an O-Peachy folder and she got a framed one?
Parks, and thank you, Council President Krikorian, Madam Capri Maddox, and the Los Angeles Transgender Advisory Council. This Transgender Awareness Month, I am proud to see so much progress in the 30 years I have advocated for my community. I'm especially excited to see a new generation of
Bro
trans
has a
advocates
nice ass
and
dress
change
on. Look at him.
agents
Holy
who will continue to fight for our dignity and humanity and fight to make Los Angeles a better place
My
for
gosh.
all. I am proud to accept the
Not
award
needed.
on behalf
Allison.
of the
Not
beautiful
needed.
brothers
You know the
sisters
outcome.
and siblings that we have lost in this fight.
That would be
for
just a
equality.
pipe
But our
verification.
work is not
Allison.
done. May this award be our call to action for another year
Yes,
of
dogs.
progress
Thanks,
of
Cat
our
Mobius.
community. And thank you from the bottom of my
Oh
heart.
my
Thank you
gosh.
so much.
No shit, John. How'd you figure that one out? Come here, get a picture of
Thank
those
you, Ms.
Adam's
Mala,
apples.
for your leadership and congratulations.
You see, say Adam's
All right,
apple.
Next. So next we'll be moving
I'm
to
gonna leave
the
those
public
for you.
comment,
I'm gonna pass.
portion
Hard
of
pass
our
on all of them,
agendas, and
Adrian.
I
I'll
mentioned
leave
at
those
the
ones for
outset,
you.
members
More,
will be
more for
taking
you, my man.
More than the usual amount of public comment today, given the fact that this will be our last meeting for a little bit, and
What?
there are a number of important items on the agenda that people wish to be heard on.
They're already taking
I
another
will,
recess.
Let the members of the audience know
Huh?
it will be impossible to take everyone who's
Oh,
signed up.
of course.
But we will take at least an hour and a half of public comment today. So let's start by, if we can, read the Madam Clerk, if you could.
Got it. So you waste over an hour just doing bullshit, right? Over an hour just doing all this bullshit. And then all of a sudden, when it comes to the actual things that matter and should matter, hearing the public, the constituents who put you in office, it's just we're going to try to get to everyone, which means we're not getting to everybody. It's impossible, which he admitted, and said, we're just going to take an hour and a half from you guys.
And I shall read.
So nice,
the
huh?
Public comment instructions.
No, I try
as
to adjust
indicated on the agenda,
the
members of the
color
public
on this
wishing
thing, and
offer
it won't
public comment
adjust.
Should call
So it's weird. I don't know.
254
Please, just enjoy.
5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466.
You know, I don't think I'm going to do the show tonight. I'm going to have to figure something out. I'm going to have to, unless I can figure out this thing, because I can't. Then we only have one, and it's out of sync, and I don't want to hear that shit. Rather just take a break, get it fixed,
unmute.
in, a couple days.
Call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466, then press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. When it is
Is she
your turn
scared,
to
Art?
speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press
Thanks,
star
James.
6 to unmute.
Good to see you.
To people providing public comment, when it is your turn to speak, either at the podium or on the phone, please state which
I've
of
been
the
trying
agenda
to figure it
items
out the
you would
whole
like to
time.
speak
I
to,
shouldn't have done that
and
update.
/or
I
whether
know
you
it
would
has
like to
something to
provide
do with that
general
brand new
public
OBS
comment.
update.
You will have up
know
to
it
1
does.
minute per item, up to 3 minutes totals, for the items open for public comment. And, if you wish, 1 minute for general public comment.
Well, that too, Carolina.
Please speak to the items before beginning general public comment.
Is that?
We will tell
Many
you when your
things,
time is
right?
up. When speaking on the agenda
Jonathan
item, you
Grote,
must
everybody.
be on
Jonathan
topic.
Grote.
Our goal is to get
His
through
hair
as
is
many
pretty
speakers
decent
as we
today.
can.
Fantastic.
If you are
Sam's
not
got
on
him looking
topic,
decent.
Or if we cannot tell whether
You know,
you are
his bangs a
speaking on
little out of
topic,
control there, but
you will
that's
get
all right.
one
That happens to
brief
me.
warning from
You know,
me
my
or the
bangs are
president.
kind of long right now.
At that point, you need to immediately
Yeah,
and
that's what I
clearly
did,
get on
Salty
topic.
Rider, and it fucked
If
my
you do
shit
not do
up.
so, or if you again stray off topic, you will forfeit the rest of
Been
your
acting
speaking
funny
time,
in it,
and we will move on to
And
the
this
next
scene
speaker.
is gone.
The items
That
open for
this
public
scene right here,
comment
you should see
are
his face
1
right now.
through
That's the one we're
15
normally
and
watching.
46
Now you
through
don't see
61.
anything.
You may,
I'm
of
gone.
course, speak
Everything's
to
gone.
Any of the other items or anything else in the city's subject matter
know?
jurisdiction during your
bullshit.
1 minute of general.
So now you're
public
watching
comment.
from my laptop
For
connected to
members
the
of the public
computer.
calling
And
in,
that's why the sync is
when it
off,
is
the
your
color's
turn to
off.
speak, an automated message from Zoom will prompt you to press star 6 to unmute yourself. If you do not do so, council staff.
Now
will
that I
prompt
think
you
about
once
it, the
more.
color setting is
At that
probably
point, you need
controlled
to
by the
immediately
laptop
unmute
versus
yourself,
the
or
actual
unfortunately,
TV.
You will forfeit your time, and we will have to move on
That's
to the
probably
next
what the
caller.
problem is. So I'm gonna have to work
Finally,
on that too.
because of a brief time delay between the live meeting and the broadcast, 2 things are important.
Your Eminence.
First, while waiting for your turn to speak, please keep an ear to the phone so you know in real time.
Could you imagine
when it
trying
is
to go
your
and get
turn
a
to
fitted
press
hat
star
for that
6 to
thing?
unmute. Second, If you're listening
Like, there's
to this
no way
meeting
that dude
on
walks into a
another
new
device,
Era store and
please
gets a
turn down
fitted.
the volume on that device.
Like, there's no way.
When it is your turn to speak.
Not one
Between
that
the
fits
time
right off
delay
the
and
shelf.
feedback,
No way.
it will
He
cause
has
a
to get
great
either
deal
some
of
custom
confusion
shit
if you continue
or
to
buy
listen on
2
your other
hats
devices.
and
Thank
cut
you.
a strip out of one hat
All right.
and sew it
thank
into
you.
the other
And
one, get a
so
custom done,
The way this
put
will
a
work
patch
is I will
over
call
it.
out a number of names here in the council chambers, and as I
It's
call
like a
your
bucket.
name, I'd like to ask
It's a
that
9
you
and
make your way
3/8.
to the column on the left hand, or the aisle on the left hand side.
Ah, shit, yeah.
Your left hand side, where our sergeant.
I
will
mean,
be
dude, I
able
don't even
to
think he can
direct
find a
you up to the
beanie that's
podium.
gonna fit that thing.
And because
He
I
has to
know
have
we have
custom
many people
beanies.
who don't regularly attend council meetings, I do just want to add that there are sometimes strongly held views
He could weigh
expressed
120 and his head was
at the podium. Some
He
of
would look
Mr.
like that
Spooner's and
homeboy on South
some
Park.
of you
Okay.
may have reactions
What was
to
the
that.
teacher's name?
I'd ask that
It
you
always
please
goes,
not disrupt
okay.
the work of this council or not
Thank you,
disrupt the
Allison. I
speaker at the
appreciate
podium.
you.
This is a forum to be heard, and so the more
Thanks, Allison.
disruption
Good to
there
see you.
is, the less we are able to hear people's input. So under our rules, if there is continuing disruption, that person causing that disruption will be removed
Mr.
from the
Mackey,
council
thank
chamber.
you.
So I just want to let everybody know that.
He would
in
look like
advance.
Mr. Mackey
So I'm
if
gonna
he was
call a
all
few
skinny,
names.
because that's what he is. He's a
Moses
beanpole
Aubrey,
with a fucking big old Q-tip
Dr.
head.
Catherine McMahon,
All right, look enough.
Adam Josephs, Katerina Minovich, Susan Welsh, Steve Stewart,
Steve Stewart.
Yvonne Garancher, John Manzanares, and Kelly DeMarco.
Kelly
Good morning. If you
DeMarco.
could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Yes, my name is Moses Aubrey. I wanted to talk about agenda items 23 and 24, but we won't be talking about that, so I'll be just giving a general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Moses Aubrey. I am from South LA, and I just want to talk a little bit today about lack of vegetation in these areas. Research suggests and shows that more affluent areas in Los Angeles have more access to tree canopy cover. And if you drive through South LA, I wish Marquise Dawson or Councilmember Curran Price were here
God damn
right
it.
now, but
Yeah,
if you
guys,
drive
I'm
through
gonna-
these areas, these places, oh, it's nice to see you, need more access to tree canopy cover. And we need native trees that will provide
I
habitat
can't do
for
it this way. It's too,
other beneficial
Maybe in theater
pollinators
mode?
as
No.
well as birds and habitat for those as well. And I brought this live oak, which I grew myself from seed.
on.
It's not hard to do. If I can do it in my busy schedule, all of you can do it. And I just want to, yeah, there's lots that we can do, and we need to work on it.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
They're on break from 11:15
Good
to
morning.
11:18.
Good morning. If you could please
And then
remind us of the
11:21.
My
name.
name is Adam
Two.
Josephs, and I'm speaking on item 35. It's like it's public comment.
And I'm sorry, what
So
was
they
your
come
name
back the
Adam
21st, is
Josephs.
what you're saying?
again? Thank you.
So you have 1 minute for general public comment because item number 35 is not open for public comment.
Sure, thank you. So I live in District 4 near Weddington, and I support the River Park project. River Park is the absolute best case
I'm sorry,
scenario.
can you
for the-
hold, apologies,
Sure.
just 1 second.
Yeah, on item 35, we're, without objection, we're reopening public comment. So speakers on that item will have a minute to speak on the agenda item on item 35, as well as general public comment if they wish. Sorry. Just wanted to make sure
Okay.
that that was clear on item 35.
Sure,
All right.
item 35. So I live
Item
in
9,
District
the
4 near
weed.
Weddington, and I
No, they are
support the
out.
River Park project. River Park is the absolute best case scenario for this
Oh, so
property.
all those days they're
With
out.
Weddington no longer viable, we have the opportunity and the
So they don't come back
responsibility
until December,
to replace it
almost,
with something that is
the
more
last week of
sustainable, that
November.
it is open and caters to a wider and
After
more diverse set
Thanksgiving.
of people. We're getting that with River Park. In our time of extreme drought, we'll no longer have a water-intensive golf course, but instead a state-of-the-art
Thank
stormwater
you.
capture system. While those who don't play golf or play tennis are excluded from almost all of Weddington, about a third of River Park will be free, public, open space. In addition to tennis, it'll have swimmers,
2 weeks
basketball
off for
players,
Thanksgiving. Sounds
wheelchair
good.
basketball players, and other adaptive athletes.
You guys
and
get the
students
same.
not just from Harvard-Westlake, but from all over the city, learning about river conservation in the area's Native American history. Finally, with Harvard Westlake, we're getting a partner that has a long-term vested interest in Studio City, one that will make sure that River Park is well-maintained, safe, and open to the community for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
All right, and before the next speaker comes down, so just to be clear, item 35 is reopened for public comment. So the items that are open for public comment are 1 through 15 and 35 and 46 through 61.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hello, my name is Dr. Catherine McMahon,
Oh, I see her now.
and I'm here from Extinction Rebellion, Los Angeles. We submitted a list of requests of the City Council to help mitigate the effects of the coming extreme weather events we will experience because of the climate crisis. Our suggestions are doable, affordable, and will help protect the most vulnerable in Los Angeles. The poor, the elderly, the unhoused, and children, as well as all residents, to help make Los Angeles a resilient, livable community.
Hey, Pickle Dick.
In the context of the coming climate disasters that we will experience.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Emotional damage.
The climate.
Good morning.
Council members. My name is Katerina Minovich, and
Hi,
I'm
Katerina.
speaking on item 35.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item, and if you could please pull the microphone a little bit higher, thank you.
Yeah, I'm tall. So I support Harvard Westlake's River Park project. The school purchased this property 6 years ago and stated immediately they sought to redevelop it as a sports campus that would also be open to the community. During the course of 6 years, the school has been patient, has listened, and has revised their plans.
About time, Jorge.
They have gone above and beyond to make the facility open to the public and community groups and to make it a much more environmentally friendly place. It will save water, it will use native trees and landscaping, and it will provide more shade than the current site. This is a responsible project. It's actually a project that sets the standard for inclusion and sustainability. I hope the City Council will reaffirm the decision of the Planning Commission and vote in support of the River Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Do svidania, Katarina. Do svidania.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Yes, Susan Welsh, and I'm speaking of item 35.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 35.
Great, good morning. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Susan. My husband, John Welsh, and I have 2 Harvard Westlake students. We live in Benedict Canyon in CD5.
And they got loot.
For years, the neighborhood has fought housing developments at this site. No one has offered to keep it the way it is. Weddington is a private, for-profit business and always has been. It is not a public park. People have always had to pay to play tennis or golf there. The business has been failing for many years. Harvard Westlake has worked hard to envision a plan that will benefit everyone. This school was founded over 100 years ago. River Park offers so much. It offers open recreational space every day from dawn to dusk. But most importantly, it'll be available to so many more people, children, teens, senior citizens, and those with disabilities. Neighbors who live in nearby apartments who don't have backyards will have a place to play. River Park will be safe. Harvard Westlake will provide security and maintenance and pay for all of it. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
It's not as expensive as other places, but generally when you live up in the hills, the houses are worth more.
Morning, my name is Steve Stewart. I'm a resident of
You're a hillbilly here. You
I'm
worth
to
money.
urge you to support the River Park development in Studio City. This is a development that's for and by the students. of Harvard Westlake. It's a good cause and the best use of this land. Land is currently unsustainable as it sits as a golf course and tennis complex. It is privately owned and acquired 6 years ago, as was mentioned before. And my fear is that if nothing is done in this instance, we will have real estate developers come in and put in condos by the hundreds. And in the meanwhile, this property will sit for another 6 years, fenced off, next to the river, and who knows what will happen. We saw what happened here under the 10 freeway this week. And I would hate to see that happen in the middle of Studio City. So I urge you guys to complete this application and support the schools, support Studio City, support Los Angeles with the Riverway Park project. Thank you.
And shout out to the encampment shout out there.
I love you, filthy
My
hobo.
name's Yvonne Garancher. I'm here to speak on behalf of item number 35.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item.
Thank you. I'm a San Fernando Valley native and have lived and raised our family in Studio City on Laurel Grove Avenue, just 4 blocks from River Park, for over 15 years. We love Studio City. Not long after we moved into our home, we heard about the plan to build 200 senior condos at Weddington. We, along with our neighbors, opposed it as we felt that it wasn't the best use of land. The unfortunate reality is the golf course is no longer a viable business. I believe the River Park project is a wonderful use of land and a far better option than the condos. I am here today as your neighbor to express my full support for the River Park project. The project's plan reflected the input of my neighbors and addressed a lot of the concerns we had about noise and preserving the historic clubhouse. The plan truly is the best possible outcome for this very special piece of land. Thank you.
Thank you. And as our next speaker is getting ready, I'm going to call out a few more names. Terry Austin, Casper Martin, Esther Brown, David Cheney.
Oh, Mr. Herman's
Alex
serving
Schlafman,
6-day
Jaya
suspension.
Savio,
I don't know if he's back yet.
Iran Daniel, and Ryan Fitzgerald.
Yeah, they threw
Good morning.
him out for
Good
6
morning,
days.
thank you. I'm Kelly DeMarco speaking on item 35 today.
Great, you guys
I've
can't even
lived
see him
directly
here.
adjacent to the pertinent
Sorry,
property for 24 years, and I support the Harvard Westlake River Park development.
get that fixed.
I love the open green space. That's why I moved here. I understood it was private land and someday it would be sold. The River Park is the best use of this space. I choose to support the student athletes and I look forward to going to their practices and games, even if the lights do shine in my windows, because I enjoy the energy and spirit that is attached to school sports. Harvard Westlake will take good care of this land and the facilities they plan to build because they have the resources to maintain and operate them indefinitely. I imagine the construction will be uncomfortable, but it will be beautiful when it is done and years later when the landscaping matures. This is not to be a neighborhood battleground. I choose to support this community focal spot. Thank you.
Michael, he
Thank
was
you.
out there yelling.
Next speaker, please.
He walked out of the chambers. He was in the hallway
Good morning.
screaming and yelling,
Good
and
morning,
they
Mr. President and
they could
council
hear him
members.
inside.
I'm here to speak on
So
number
they asked who it
35.
was.
My
They
name
said it
is
was
John
him. All right,
Madison
he's gone
Harris.
for 6 days.
My family and I wholeheartedly support the Harvard Westlake River Plan. We have lived right next door to this site for over 36 years. We're not golfers, so all this time we've not been able to use it. I support it for all the reasons that the supporters you will hear from support it, but I would also like to point out a couple of things. You know what crosses your desks every day from planning. It's not for a recreational facility that's privately funded that will be opened up and beautified for the community. What you see crossing your desks from planning are strip malls, apartment complexes, condo complexes, and that's what will happen to this site if this river park does not go forward. The fact is this golf course is not sustainable. This is an opportunity for us to do something very good for the environment and very good for the community. Please support it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ban
Next speaker,
all golf courses.
Good morning. My name is Casper Martin, and I'm here to speak on item number 37.
So item number 37 is not open for public comment, but you can speak to it during your 1 minute of general public comment.
Okay.
So you have 1 minute for general public comment.
General public comment is fine, although you have been taking a lot of public comment from rental activists for several meetings now, so it's a little strange to me that you're not going to take public comment on this matter.
Remember that when you go vote.
Have been attending these meetings, and I say purported because I overhear them talking, and they are essentially activists. All they've been providing you guys is general accusations and descriptions of landlords as being evil Machiavellian people who just sit around counting their money, and that could not be further from the truth. Most of us are small family-owned apartment building owners, and we have not been able to keep up with our expenses. We rent our one-bedroom apartments for $941 and $1,000 each. The average rent in our area is $2,700 a month. We are providing affordable housing for the residents of Los Angeles, and we need to be able to keep up with our
Just trying to
raising
fix
expenses.
it. Trying to figure it out.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
That way I don't have to go live and do
Good morning.
testing
If you could
shit.
Please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Good morning, I'm Gia Savio. I'm speaking on item 37, or general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Okay, so there's been a lot of talk about inflation, so let's be clear about how inflation works, because rental prices are actually one of the main drivers of inflation. Housing costs account for the vast majority of the consumer price index that determines inflation. So when rental prices go up, inflation goes up even higher, and the price of everything else goes up even higher. So if people are actually concerned about inflation, then why are you trying to add fuel onto the flames? If we want to give the economy a breather from inflation, the best thing to do is to keep the rent freeze in place. Moreover, landlords are not housing providers, they are housing withholders. Landlords don't house LA, they displace LA. So there are so many tenants here who don't have a choice and will end up on the streets. I've never heard of a single landlord who has ended up on the sidewalk because of the rent
Thank
freeze.
you.
Your time is expired.
Thanks very much.
Well,
Next
isn't that,
speaker,
wouldn't that
please.
be, counterintuitive? Being a landlord, they're about getting money.
I'm sorry, folks.
So how do they get
I-
money?
I want to.
Not by
get
being
that
taxed.
People are enthusiastic about some of the speakers.
get money
but
by
the more time
charging
you
rent to
take
people who pay it.
clapping or booing, the less time we actually hear from
So,
speakers.
yeah, they
so I'm going to
don't
ask you to try to
displace anything. In
refrain
fact,
from doing that.
they're putting
and under no
people,
circumstances will there be disruption
in
of a
apartments
speaker.
and houses
Good
off
morning.
of the
Thank
street.
you very much. I'm David Cheney. I was here for
Quite
37,
the
so I'll do
opposite.
general comment. Apparently, we just keep moving this 37. I'm on my 4th visit for this. But you know what? Addressing the person who was just before me, I just lost a building after owning it for 20 years. I've been a landlord in Los Angeles for 35, providing very good housing and working with the community. One of the reasons is because the city council decided to let tenants not pay rent for 3 years. So the woman that didn't pay me rent bought a $700,000 house in Texas instead of paying me.
Yeah.
Two tenants pay $700 a month. Now, those two tenants have just had increases. One is a teacher. She's just got a 21% increase. One is on Social Security. Now, I understand it's a tough slog here, guys, but it's not $700 a month, not that big of a slog. He got 19.1 COLA increase. Everybody did, okay? So you also given 30% increases to the LAUSD staff, which I don't mind, but what I'm saying is everybody is getting it. You all are letting everybody else have raises, and you know that the costs are everywhere.
Thank you. Next speaker,
such
please.
a dummy, dude.
Good morning.
I hope everybody is listening.
If you could
Council
please-
members, some of them are just talking.
So, Speaker, if you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the
renters.
items you'd like to speak on.
General comments.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public
The
comment.
Renters Protection Declaration, you have promised a 7% increase starting February 24. We urge you to keep the much needed help. 3 years of zero raises is hard enough. The housing department need to focus on creating the much needed affordable housing. Let's partner in this urgent effort. Being the czar in choking the supply of construction and investment in Los Angeles. For the last several decades, rent control apartments have decreased. We urge you to use all efforts for the long run. The lollipops the voters get will further the problem for the housing, the housed and unhoused. Just a
Speaker, your
split
time has
second.
expired.
What is she even babbling
Thank you.
about?
I'm sorry. Your time has expired. Next speaker, please.
What is she babbling about? Lollipops and shit.
Thank you, ma'am. Your time has
She's
expired.
still talking
Thank
into
you.
the mic. You don't
Next
even
speaker,
listen to me. She did, Terry. What the fuck
Good
she's
morning. If
talking
you could
about.
please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Good morning. My name is Alex Schlaffen, and I'd like to speak regarding item number 37.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you very much. President Krikorian and other individuals and other council members that have recused themselves because they own residential properties or presumably apartment complexes. Equally, I presume that other individuals that are residing in apartment buildings that are members, they should equally recuse themselves, first and foremost. They should apply equally, one as the other. They would have a vested interest. Furthermore, I'd like to point out that this is an attack on an industry. I don't understand the individuals that are attacking landlords. We provide housing and want to provide good housing that help individuals improve those apartment buildings. But effectively, this body is attacking an industry, but not only just an industry, a small segment of that. Because we're talking about the buildings that built after 1979 would not be affected. So effectively, those that decide to buy apartment buildings that need the most help, the older buildings, we're effectively saying that those buildings could not have the financial assistance to do the help that we need to help the tenants. I call on you to reconsider what you're thinking to do.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hi, my name is Yoran Daniel, and I'm here to talk about item 37.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Council President, council members, good morning, buenos dias. Historically, tenants have been represented by the minority and the impoverished, and landlords have been portrayed as careless and powerful, but I'm here today as a Latina immigrant talking as a landlord of a small RSO property, and on behalf of all the landlords. We have not been able to raise the rent since the pandemic. We have been impacted by several events that have been impacted us economically. I am a struggling actor. I have been impacted by the SAG strike that has just finished, and I have had to rake from my savings to pay for the tenant that couldn't pay during the pandemic, and we couldn't do anything. We urge you to allow the 7% raise increase so that we can give our tenants the properties that they deserve, so that we can take care of their needs, so that we can make ends meet. Our rents are not enough the way that we are paying now to cover for our cost. Thank you.
Thank you. And as our next speaker is coming forward, I'm going to call a few more names. Sandra Silva, Armando Mendez,
Armando Herman,
Corey,
Armando Herman, Mr. Spindler,
Joseph Axelrad, James Min,
Andrew Gravener,
Vasil Hamide, Sean Marks, Kirsten Albrecht,
I want to do a
Daniel
Wario, but you're
Seo,
too far away.
Peter Folks, Darlene Bible, and Louis Sanford, please. Good morning.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Yes, Terry Austin, public comment, and item 35.
Okay, so you have
And-
1 minute for item 30.
Crazy. They arrested the hockey player who kicked the other hockey player and killed him by cutting his throat with that skate. They arrested him on manslaughter charges. Wow.
And the officer brought my copies to the city clerk. Now she says, because
So,
I wasn't in the room,
you
they
can-
cannot be distributed.
The sergeant will take them and distribute them
she
right
said,
now.
I don't have enough copies for everyone. She has them, but she says she can't distribute them. I wasn't allowed in the room because it was at capacity.
That's
And
fine.
that
We'll make
clerk
sure that they're
made
distributed.
the decision on her
We'll
own.
make sure that they're distributed right now. You
But-
can go ahead and speak.
Councilmember Krikorian, the vote is today. She says they won't be distributed till after the vote.
I just said that they will be distributed, so they will be. So whoever has them,
I said
please
it,
distribute them
and
right
it will
now.
be.
Thank you, sir.
And it will be. Look at him. pushing down that authority.
In the meantime, I have 5 for the council members who are present
So
right now.
please feel free to provide them to the sergeants if you'd like. And you have 1 minute for item 35. Please start with the item and 1 minute for general public comment.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Council members, my public comment is about the difficulty in getting the individual community members heard. I understand that you sit here hours and hours and hours and listen to public comment, and you listen to people being abusive and singing and all sorts of things. I've been coming to city council for 37 years. This used to be a discourse where people could be heard. And I understand why there's so few of you here now, because you get so much abuse here. I would really ask you to make this public comment a more serious endeavor. I don't know what you can do. I know First Amendment rights. I don't know with decorum or what rules you can have so that people can come down and be heard. The other thing is that I brought with me these handouts. And what they are is on item 35, we have people getting up who say, oh, this is so wonderful for the community. Nobody mentions that 14,000 people signed a petition. Thousands of people have written in for the last 3 years.
General public comment.
Thank you. About this project. Our community in Encino, Sherman Oaks, Studio City, and Reseda is against this project. It is the last 16 acres of open space. There is supposed to be public access. This whole project hinges on a conditional use permit. The project does not meet the qualifications for the average Joe or Josephine to just walk on the property. Please look at the paper and see the very restricted for organizations only. There is no individual access. Please look at this before you vote on 35 today. Also, the map number 1 is the map that was submitted by Harvard Westlake 3 years ago. Map number 2 is a so-called revised map submitted in August to the CPC. It is exactly the same in scope and size. There has been no compromise. The only compromise was moving deck chairs on the Titanic. Please take a look at this before you vote. Put it off 1 week so you have a chance to look at the last 16 acres of open space on the LA River in the entire city.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next speaker, please. Good morning.
Hi, my name is Ryan Fitzgerald, and I'm here to give public comment on item 37.
So you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Okay, thank you. So I'm drowning. I have one duplex that's an RSO duplex. I have not been able to collect any rent. I can't afford to make any of the repairs. I am absolutely drowning. And the fact that we are not able to even ask the tenants without it being considered harassment for them to fill out the documents for the landlord to get aid during the pandemic is ridiculous. It's abusive. You have your feet on the neck of the landlord, and it's terrible what you're doing to us. This is my retirement. I have spent so much time and made so many sacrifices to buy one duplex for my retirement, and now I'm in the face of losing this duplex because you guys won't help us. You're creating an adversarial position between the landlord and the tenant. And Martinez and Bloomfield, they live in RSO units. They should not be able to vote on this matter.
Speaker, your time has expired.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
What did I miss? Why you guys all say drowning? I missed something. I got a text.
Whoever's shouting out will not be allowed to shout out.
Oh,
You'll be
Spindler.
removed from the chambers if it continues. No shouting out during public comment.
I'm sorry, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Sure. Thank you for hearing me. My name is Peter Folks. I'm speaking about item number 35.
Okay. So you have 1 minute for item 35.
I'm in favor of the Harvard Westlake proposal to build a sports fields in the former Weddington golf course. I live, I don't know what district it is, but I live like right a couple streets away. I walk to the end of my street, I look left, and there's the third tee box for that golf course. It's adorable, and it's been there forever. And if I had a magic wand, maybe I'd wish it to be there forever, but they sold it. Times have changed and things move on. And I have to think about my neighborhood and who my new neighbor is going to be. So when I started thinking about who the neighbor is going to be for the last 20 years, this has been a point of contention in my neighborhood. It was going to be condos, and everybody kind of freaked out for good reason. And then there's rumors there's going to be a senior community and maybe stores and things. None of those made anybody particularly happy. I have confidence that Harvard Westlake, one of the best schools in the country, will be a good neighbor for us in our community. And I also have seen the plans, and it seems like what they're going to build, it's not maybe perfect for everyone, but it's a beautiful thing, and I support it.
Thank you. Next speaker,
That's
please.
Stacy right there.
Good morning, President Krikorian and council members. My name is Basil Hamida. My family and I live just a few blocks. I'm speaking on item number 35.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 35.
My family and I live several blocks from the River Park, and I speak today in strong, very strong support of the project. The River Park will be of an extraordinary benefit to the community. I have attended over the last 5 years probably 20 different speaking engagements in person, via Zoom. And I'm here solely because I want what's best for the community, our neighborhood, and the city. When I ride my bike past the large fenced-in long drive golf course as it stands now, I see at most 5 people walk across thousands of feet of fenced-in space to hit and chase a little white golf ball for the enjoyment of a few. Rather, if the honorable members of the City Council reaffirm the approval of the River Park, the far greater benefit will be for many thousands of children and community members. There was a lady that came and spoke a couple of minutes ago against the River Park, and the reality is, may I have 1 more minute for general comment?
For general public comment, yes.
The reality is the vast majority of the neighborhood, my neighbors, my friends that live very close by are in strong support of the project. It reminds me of a saying by Richard Racehorse Haynes, a famous trial lawyer in Houston many years ago, who said, "Say you sue me because you say my dog bit you. Well, this is my defense. My dog doesn't bite. And second, in the alternative, my dog was tied up that night. And third, I don't believe you really got bit. And fourth, I don't have a dog." I mean, that's essentially the arguments that I've heard from the opposition. They will come up with anything, regardless of how vague, to protest anything, including the Sportsman's Lodge that's several blocks away, which is a tremendous benefit to the community. So I look forward to taking my family and friends to the River Park to walk on the beautiful open trails and use the state-of-the-art facilities. Please, please, please reaffirm the project.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Council. My name is Joseph Axelrad, and I rise in support of item number 35.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 35.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to address the council. I'd like to offer my wholehearted support for the Harvard Westlake River Park project and encourage the council to approve this project finally. I am a nearly lifelong resident of Studio City, and am currently a close neighbor of the River Park project. I am also a graduate of Harvard Westlake, along with many members of my family. And like so many people here, I also grew up enjoying the Weddington Golf Course. Playing there, playing tennis, eating there, playing golf there, and continuing to enjoy it with my family. But like many of the supporters before me have noted, Weddington Golf Course was sold, and it was sold in a private sale to Harvard Westlake. And I can think of a no better community partner than Harvard Westlake, a considerate, caring, and devoted neighbor, to be the steward of this important property. They are committed to caring for the property and committed to engaging with the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
My name is Sean Marks. I'm speaking on 35.
So you have 1 minute for item number 35.
Thank you. I live in Council District 4. I have for the past 16 years, and I support Harvard Westlake River Park. I want to thank Councilwoman Rahman and her support of the River Park. The River Park is a transformative project that will turn Weddington Golf and Tennis facility into a multi-benefit recreational and open space that will be available daily for public use.
I used to play a long time ago too, a little bit, but my arm hurts. I have a plate and pins in my arm.
Sustainability standards of the space.
So it hurts after a while.
Thank you for joining with Councilwoman Rahman and Council President Krikorian and support this worthy project on its merits. Thank you.
Thank you. Next
I'm better
speaker,
at
please.
video game golf. Remember, I was 6th in the world in
Good afternoon. If you could
Tiger
please remind
Woods
us of the name that you signed
on
up under
PlayStation.
and the items you would like to speak on.
Sure. Daniel So,
Almost
item
35.
35.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item number 35.
Thank you, Council. My name is Daniel So. My father was born in North Korea. I'm the firstborn American in my family. And I'm also a proud alum of the Harvard Westlake School. I strongly support.
I used to
the River
love the
Park project.
PGA on
6 years
PlayStation
ago,
1.
the school purchased the
2.
property, and for almost 6 years, the
PGA
plans
1997
incorporated
golf.
community input.
Fucking fun.
Undoubtedly, the school would have wanted more, and the neighbors would have wanted less, but this plan is a compromise. In fact, I would say that the city should use this project to set environmental precedent for projects going forward. Thus, I urge the committee to vote in favor of River Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. My name is Kirsten Albrecht. I'm here for item number 35.
Good afternoon. So you have 1 minute for item 35.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Kirsten Albrecht. I am here in support of the Harvard Westlake River Park project. My children are both student athletes at Harvard Westlake. We live in CD10.
NASCAR is fun.
And my children
It
are
was
bus
fun.
riders.
I haven't played it in a while.
So the first stop on my children's bus is a route that begins at 6:10 a.m.
Is that really
in
a thing,
Inglewood.
Juan?
After a full day of classes and sports teams practice,
I don't
that
have
same bus
PlayStation.
returns to
I have
Inglewood at
Xbox.
7:55 p.m. It's a long day for a student. They commute 3.5 hours, they get home, they eat, they shower, and then they begin their homework. 75% of Harvard Westlake students participate in athletics, and 59% of Harvard Westlake students are students of color. The River Park complex will not only benefit the students who are on my children's bus route and other student athletes, but they will benefit the entire community surrounding Studio City. Thank
she,
you,
John?
and I encourage you to vote
Thank
for the
you.
Harvard
Walking
Westlake
smoke
project.
and
Thank you
smoke.
very much. Next speaker, please.
I'm surprised there's that many just sitting there.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind
Somewhat
us
paying
of the name that
attention.
you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
My name's Darlene Bible, and I'd like to speak on item 35, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 35.
Hi, I'm Studio City stakeholder, and I'm in my 43rd year at Harvard Westlake as an employee. When we acquired the Weddington property, we were not only excited about the additional resources for our students, but we also saw the opportunity to have the community join us in experiencing a beautiful green space full of opportunities for exercise and enjoyment. Harvard Westlake's had a long-time relationship with the Special Olympics, and I have personally been involved with securing space for them on our Coldwater campus for their many activities. With limited athletic facilities and as many teams as we offer at Harvard Westlake, it's difficult to give them as much time and space as they would like. I'm also involved with our relationship with Angel City Sports, and their wheelchair basketball program has flourished with the space we have found for them at our current gym. They sponsor dozens of adaptive sports, and I look forward to additional possibilities for them at River Park. I care so much about the community, and I hope that you'll support our River Park project. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good
Good afternoon.
Hi, James Min for item 35.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item number 35.
All right. My name is James Min. Good afternoon, Council, and here in support of River Park because it'll benefit the broader Studio City and the Los Angeles community. And how do I come to that conclusion? If you compare the existing Weddington facilities with the approved River Park plans, really the only change is the utilization of the land that the driving range and par 3 golf course is on. The tennis courts, the clubhouse, and the putting green remain the same. The golf facilities only really benefit about 3,000 of Studio City residents. And how do I get to this number? Studio City is about 0.1% of the overall population of California. There are about 3 million golfers in California per the Hoover Institute. That gets you to 3,000. All that acreage for just 3,000 residents. by willingly partnering with Public River Park expands the universe of people that can enjoy the facility to 45,000 residents of Studio City and the broader LA community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
We'll have his shirt open.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed
his
up
shirt
under
open?
and the
My name
items
is
you'd like
the
to
Liver
speak on.
King.
And which items would you like to speak on?
I'd like to speak on item number 35.
Why is he taking his shirt
So
off?
you have 1 minute
Dude's
for item number
yoked.
35.
Good morning, Primals. So today, I'd like to speak on what I believe is the biggest problem in the city, and that is that 4,000 men a day commit suicide. And after today, we're going to prevent that, Primals, because the only way to prevent that is by eating raw.
So, Speaker, this doesn't sound like it's related to
So
item
this would be
35,
general
so I'm gonna
public
move you to
comment.
general public comment.
Raw meat.
She walked away.
Connected, anchored, grounded into the earth. City council members, I want you all to take your shoes off. You have to get the sun, and most importantly, you have to be taking steroids.
What is he doing? He's got
Thank you, Primal.
steroids and liver.
I just want to do a quick demonstration for the city council members.
Yeah, no, we don't do demonstrations. You can speak or, okay, your time is expired.
Speaker, your time is
Your time is
expired.
expired.
Here comes the
Step
cops.
aside, please.
What is
Next
going on
speaker.
here?
Speaker, we're good.
Your time's expired. Please leave the podium. Next speaker, please. Your time's expired. Please leave the podium or you'll be removed from the chambers. Leave the podium this minute or you'll be removed.
Speaker, you've been warned multiple times to
Okay,
vacate the podium.
you're ordered to leave the chambers quietly pursuant to Rule 12.
Who is the Liver King? Is he got like some internet sensation? Yeah, I never heard of him. I'm as yoked, whoever he is.
Sir, I've instructed you to leave the meeting. Leave the meeting quietly. You are excluded pursuant to Rule 12. Next speaker, please.
They don't want to show it. They walk him out already? Oh.
Okay, the speaker is, that gentleman is continuing to disrupt the meeting. As I said, he's ordered excluded pursuant to Rule 12.
Finish mine,
Good
Telly.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, Louis Sanford.
Cheers.
I'd like to discuss number 35 and a general comment too, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item 35
There's
and
the
1 minute
Liver
for general
King,
public
everybody.
comment.
Great, thank you very much.
Shout out to Liver King.
And good afternoon, everybody. Again, Louis Sanford, CD4, since 1995. By the way, for Council Member Yaroslavsky, I must take a moment to say my late father adored your father-in-law.
He was just juicing up.
during
Yeah,
his
there he
many years
goes.
in city and county service.
Of course he was. Look at how yoked he is. Come on.
And Council Member Krikorian, we met back in November of 2019.
When am I moving to Florida?
At the Studio City Neighborhood
anytime
Council
soon.
Board meeting.
I like that it
gave
rains
you
a lot.
my emails regarding the plan that we're discussing.
It's too
in
hot and muggy. I
35.
don't like that hot,
And
muggy weather.
unfortunately, when I handed you my hard copy
Sweating all
after no
day, I'm
emails were
good.
responded to, you promised to
I'm
review and
good.
respond. Well, as of today, nearly 4 years to the day, no response. 6 years ago, however, the
What's
developer
Spindler doing
Harvard
back there?
Westlake promised to maintain the tranquility
jogging.
of our community, but it's been anything but.
General public comment?
Too funny, dude.
Contentious public hearings, constant PR spin, and skewed positions from city reps have powered this nightmarish plan to today's scheduled vote. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize a 16-acre private school sports complex will have a short-term and a long-term impact on our low-density neighborhood. According to many medical and environmental experts, the 3+ years to demolish and construct this plan alone will be absolutely catastrophic. If the plan is approved, 42,000 residents of Studio City, the hundreds of thousands of Angelinos who enjoy Weddington golf and tennis each year, and the millions who've embraced this landmark for nearly 7 decades will all be betrayed. Clearly, this will go down as the most egregious example of private interests trumping public interests. And by the way, if the article in yesterday's LA Times doesn't move any of you to pause that button
Thank you.
today,
Thank you very much.
then shame on you all.
Thank you very much. All right. As our next speaker is coming up, after the speaker, I'm going to go to the phones and take 30 minutes of callers on the phones, and then I'm going to come back and try to get some more speakers here in the chambers. So.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Marta Zapata. Estoy hablando sobre el número 37.
Hold on, just 1 minute.
Oh, one moment, please. We're having a technical issue. One moment.
Hello, my name is Marta Zapata, and I want to talk on item 37.
Okay,
Pedimos
so
una
you have 1
extensión de
minute.
6 meses.
2 minutes.
Un segundo, señora.
Experimenting some
Tiene un minuto
technological
para hacer tu
differences.
comentario. Adelante.
Pedimos una extensión de 6 meses.
We
más,
asked for an extension for 6 months,
y después de esos meses queremos que solo se nos cobre el 3% de la renta.
and we only want a
Inquilinos
3% of increase.
Inquilinos como nosotros se han cometido muchas injusticias como contra nosotros.
They've been doing a
Primero,
lot of injustice things towards to us. First of all,
por 5 años me deben $300 de renta cada mes y solo me quieren sacar por una promesa de cambiarme un apartamento que lo rentaron por más de $400 y me
Ok,
hicieron
un segundo,
pagar
señora.
$500 por otro apartamento.
Señora.
Momentito.
Si quiere que le
Possibly, Ian.
interprete correctamente, necesito que me dé
Dude is big.
oraciones cortas, por favor.
Okay.
It's not a small
me hicieron
human.
pagar en un apartamento
No matter what he's
1,500 cuando
doing.
yo pagaba
I
500.
had to pay $1,500 at one apartment when I was there.
Y con una promesa de 300 hace 5 años.
5 years ago with a promise, and also
también hubo un robo de
It is
salario.
model.
Trabajé para ellos y me robaron mucho dinero. Me
and
pagaron,
also they robbed my salary. I worked for them and they robbed me a lot of money.
me pagaron solo el 25%. ¿Y qué dice el dueño? So easy.
And they only pay me 25%.
Y salieron riéndose porque porque me estaban robando.
And they were laughing at me because they were stealing.
Entonces queremos por favor que sí trabajen con los inquilinos. Yo, concejal soy del distrito 13, concejal Soto, por favor quiero que nos escuche y
I am from District 3. Please, Council Member Soto, please listen to us.
muchos inquilinos sufrimos muchas injusticias.
We
Thank
are
you.
facing with a lot of injustice
Thank you very
situations.
much.
Guys, I want to show you something really quick.
Okay, we're
I'm
going to go
missing.
next to callers on the phone.
Really?
For
So
30
no
minutes.
no nothing.
So let's go ahead and take the first caller, please.
Jesus. I'll show it in a minute. Jesus, they're really fucking everybody over today.
Go ahead and
no
take the first caller,
Spindler.
please.
Nobody.
Next caller, which items would you like to speak on?
We're not getting anybody today. No no Spindler.
Good morning. This is a general comment.
Robot
Again,
lady.
regarding the homeless numbers that have increased.
So you have
over
1 minute for
about
general public comment.
10%.
Yeah,
This is sleazy.
It's there.
There's two of them, Eric Previn and Robot. They just
Yes,
hung
we
up
can
on
hear you.
Robot
Go ahead,
Lady.
you have 1 minute for general public
And
comment.
now it's Eric Previn, or they hang up on both of them. Sounds like they hung up on both of them.
Caller, are you still there?
Yeah.
It's Eric
Yes,
Previn.
I am.
They're both.
Hold on, we're having a technical issue. There's two callers on the line at the same time. Hold on, hold on. Let's try to straighten this out.
We
There's
seem
two
to be
callers that are being heard at the
experimenting
same
with
time.
technological differences.
We heard you the first two times. Just hold on a second.
Okay, well, every week.
Hold on a second.
Every week. Bro, they need to fire their sound homie. This dude
All
right here.
Whoever is now on the line,
This
Mr.
guy is
Previn
sitting
or
up
the
there.
other caller, can go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't appreciate being yelled at, but thank you. Is this
Kevin,
Eric
which
Previn
items
speaking?
would
Is
you
that
like to
heard?
speak on?
Item 35 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item
Oh,
first.
this is a lawyer. This is Eric Previn. He's a lawyer.
Okay, I'm a longtime resident of Studio City. I know some of you have heard this project discussed before by me and others. What's really going on is interesting. There's a zone change needed, and it was promised by certain council members, but not overtly. And then the school conducted a bunch of meetings that were invitational, and I was excluded from them. And then they had some meetings which we did go to, and everybody was like, this is a very special part of the community. This can't be such a big and vast, expansive project.
And Harvard Westlake, like a prior speaker said, just repeated the same thing. So then come a chorus of the tailgaters today. I just want you to understand the context of those lovely people who came down and live around the corner and nearby. It's bullshit, okay? There are people who live nearby and there are people who support the project nearby, but this is a coordinated assault on your mind. 14,000, line them up in your mind. How many people is 14,000 from around the neighborhood with the zip code?
General
who
public
all
comment?
say, please don't do this. This is not the right way to go. The right thing to do for the voice of reason is to do a scaled back project that does not have an 80,000 square foot. 80,000 square feet, FYI, is like a airplane hangar. If you don't read City Watch, you can check my column out. It's huge. It's not what you want. They say, oh, well, some people like this, some people like that. You know, we'll disagree about the details. This will destroy the lungs of Studio City. This will engender a dislike of the school that is already, it has some work to do in some sections. You know, I know they're very dominant in the athletic space. We don't want an athletic factory, and we don't want a 2,000-person arena right next to our firehouse. Nice touch to bring in the fire department today and honor them, lather them up. Yeah, but we don't need that kind of an emergency crisis, and we don't need this kind of a project right there. We need a much smaller version of it so the golf can remain and the people can be happy in Studio City. I thank you for your consideration. Supervisor Horvath, if you're listening, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next caller, please. Mr. Reedy, be silent right now. Mr. Reedy, I'm instructing you to be silent. Mr. Reedy is not following my instructions. Please remove Mr. Reedy pursuant to Rule 12. He is ordered excluded from the meeting pursuant to Rule 12. Mr. Reedy is ordered excluded. Mr. Reedy, please leave right now. Please leave right now. You're ordered excluded from this meeting. Jason Reedy is ordered excluded, and yet he continues to disrupt the meeting.
And Camille Lewis, you are also given a formal warning. Do not disrupt this meeting by yelling out.
Oh, that's the BLM
Camille
chick.
Lewis, you have received your first and only formal warning.
The city of Los Angeles will wait. Have a good day, Mr. Reedy.
He's the one that comes in with the baby all the time.
Have a good day.
Matt.
All right. And now we'll go back to the next caller on the phone, please.
Next caller, what items would you like to speak on?
And as we're waiting for that caller, and let's straighten out what's going on. Mr. Spindler, I can hear you audibly speaking from the back of the room. I'm ordering you to be silent as well, or you'll be removed. Next caller, please.
It's getting testy.
Caller with the last four digits, 1588. You are currently unmuted. What items would you like to speak on?
Hi, thank you so much. This is Jessica Graham. I just wasn't sure if I was up next. Thank you very much for your patience.
So which items would you, good afternoon, which items would you like to speak on?
She AI?
35 for River Park.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 35.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much, and thank you in advance for listening to me as well as all of the fellow speakers on the phone. I live in Studio City near Weddington, and I support Harvard Westlake in every possible way, as well as supporting the River Park. Harvard Westlake has repeatedly demonstrated a willingness to listen to the concerns of the community and take steps to lessen potential impacts from its River Park proposal. They've reduced the size of the gymnasium, agreed to prohibit visitors from parking on neighborhood streets, relocated their athletic fields to be further away from neighborhood homes, and retained character-defining features of sites such as the golf ball-shaped lights, for starters. And now in the final environmental impact report, they have taken additional steps to address concerns by reducing the number of light poles and designing them to be more efficient, lowering the bleacher seating capacity, decreasing the number of on-site parking spaces, and redesigning the pool canopy so that it is both more efficient and less visible. I, for one, am immensely appreciative of these moves and would hope that so are my neighbors.
Caller, your time has expired.
Thank you very much. Next caller, please.
I love
Next caller,
cut him off
what items would you like
mid-sentence.
to speak on?
Yeah, we don't care. Next one. Somebody's driving.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Or
we
is
can
that the
hear you.
gardener?
Which items would you like to speak on?
Basically, this is a general comment.
I
And
hear her
again, just
gardener.
a reminder about the homeless numbers in our city that have increased by 10%.
That's Robit.
Why are nearly 50% of our homeless incarcerated and unemployed? Black women are 4.3% of the population, 25% of all female violence, 33% of female homicide, 36% of female assault, and 22% of all rape. Why? Because self-serving and corrupt people like Marquise Dawson, Price, Hutt, and Ridley Thomas only represent themselves. And we are paying billions for it.
It is,
The
Jose.
Black community has no representation, and we are all paying for it. We call corrupt, sleazy Marquise Dawson to spend criminally indicted Curtis Price. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Next caller. What items would you like to speak on? Speak with the last four digits 5840. Please press *6 to mute yourself.
Hi.
We can
Hi,
hear
my
you.
name is Annie Abrams, and I'm speaking on item 35.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 35.
Thank you. I wholeheartedly support the Harvard Westlake River Park. Some people in the community have asked, does the school really need all of these sports facilities? Well, the answer is yes, absolutely. First of all, the school actually doesn't have as much land as many high schools, including most LAUSD high schools. So they really need this additional space to accommodate their teams and their students. Also, I just don't think we need to second guess a school. Obviously, Harvard Westlake does need these facilities for students. Otherwise, it wouldn't spend all this time, money, and effort on the project. It's crucial that schools have what they need to provide excellent and safe academic and extracurricular experiences for students. I sincerely hope the city will approve the River Park. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak.
Speaking of schools,
you.
police
Next
investigating
caller, please.
reports of threatening calls made to several schools
Next
in
caller.
San Fernando
What items would you like to speak
Valley. Campuses are on lockdown.
Hi, hello, good afternoon, council members. My name is Victor Reyes, and I'm here to speak on items 35 and 37 in public comment.
You have 1 minute for item number 35. Item 37 is not open for public comment, but you can speak to it during general. So you also have 1 minute for general public comment.
What's
for 2
bro
minutes.
doing? Is he underwater?
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, my name is Victor Reyes. I'm here on behalf of VICA, the Valley Industry and Commerce Association. On item 35, VICA proudly supports the Harvard Westlake River Park project, and we are proud to see that this project has finally made its way to the full council. This will provide an unprecedented athletic and recreational opportunity for both Harvard Westlake students and the students.
If you have a kid at one of those schools,
with a
you'd be
deep
concerned.
respect for the history of the Weddington Golf and Tennis property, Harvard Westlake's development follows key
Crazy
design
being a kid
principles
nowadays,
to
man.
maintain the site's openness and greenery.
Couldn't imagine it.
Extensive outreach incorporating feedback from residents and stakeholders have informed the plan submitted to the City of Los Angeles. VICA stands in full support of this project and urge your aye vote. On item 37, as we near the end of the pandemic-era rent freeze on January 31st, it's important to evaluate the potential impacts of proposed rental restrictions on property owners and instead focus on promoting policies that support a dynamic housing market. These restrictions will hinder a property owner's ability to manage and maintain their properties, affecting overall housing quality. With regards to some of the amendments introduced today, we are against a blanket 4% rate increase for units who do provide utility services or cover those expenses, while also supporting Councilmember McOscar's amendment for a higher threshold for mom-and-pop properties. Instead of imposing limitations, let's promote policies that foster a thriving housing market, encourage property investment and development, and contributing to the overall well-being of the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Next caller. What items would you like to speak on? Caller with the
I'd like to speak on
hello.
number 35, please.
Sorry, you said item 35?
Yes, please. My name is Casey Kim.
1 minute for item 35.
I don't recognize her.
Thank you. I'm calling to urge you to support Harvard Westlake School and River Park. The school's partnered with several nonprofit organizations to benefit not just Harvard Westlake students with the new recreational facility, but to expand recreational opportunities for neighbors and community partners. The school has demonstrated a purpose beyond itself. Please join the Special Olympics, Solar, the Boys and Girls Club, Angel City Sports, Audubon Society, and the Fernando Tavian Band of Mission Indians in support of River Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Right, Ian?
Next caller. What items would you like to speak on?
Fucking bots. Thanks, Janelle.
Yes, this is Jason. I'm a smoking scan deer.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry. Which items would you like
Shout
to
out
speak
to
on?
Jason.
Just general public comment there, sir.
Oh, okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Good deal. Well, anyway, my man smoking scan, he's been having a few difficulties, on the stream today after watching the meeting with him, but I guess he's going to get it all straightened out, and I don't know if we're going to have a show tonight. If we do, you're welcome to come by and check us out there, and I think we've been talking about a lot of good things in the meeting here today, but, we're talking about the housing, the landlords, the tenants. I think they need to understand one thing, but, now let me give you a little bit of a scenario of what my life is all about. First off, I'm 35 years old. I am thrice divorced, and I live in a van down by the trailer. Great man once said that. Anyway, you can come by, smoke a scan anytime. When you get a few minutes, pop in. Maybe Snakes will be around. We'll do a little smoke and, smoke and toke, and hopefully have a good time there. But y'all have a good day.
Dude, what do you think they're thinking
Next
right now?
speaker, please.
What do you think they're thinking?
Next speaker.
Shout out to
what
Jason.
items would you like to speak on?
Thanks, Jay.
Speak with the last 4 digits 9988. Please press *6 to mute yourself.
Yeah, thrice divorced. I love it. The van down by the trailer.
Speak with the last 4 digits 9988. This is your last chance. Please press *6 to mute yourself, or we'll move on.
9988.
Speaker, you're now unmuted.
Hello,
So we can hear you. Which items would you like to speak on?
Item 35. My name is Robin Small. I raised my family in Studio City, and my son played golf at Weddington. I care deeply about Studio City, and
Another golfer.
trying to expand opportunities to more of the community. Therefore, I'm proud to support Harvard Westlake and River Park. Many are concerned that the construction will result in the loss of trees, but they're wrong. The existing old-growth perimeter trees will remain in place to preserve the look and feel of the property. The trees to be removed are Mexican fan palms, which are non-native and invasive. These trees will be replaced with more than 150 additional trees than exist now. The new and additional trees will be environmentally appropriate, offering greater shade and consuming less water. People in and around Studio City will surely benefit from River Park, but so will birds and other wildlife who frequent the area due to increased biodiversity. As a result of River Park, the future has infinite possibilities for all creatures great and small. Please approve Harvard Westlake's River Park. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Thank you.
Next speaker. What items would you like to speak on?
Hello.
Speak with the last 4 digits
hello?
1334. Please press *6 to mute yourself.
Hi, I'd like to speak on general public comment and agenda item number 35.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item 35 and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item first.
I'm corn pop, John.
Okay. Hi, council members. I'd like to begin by drawing your attention to the recent LA Times article laying out potential ethics violations in regards to the proposed Harvard Westlake project. Councilmember Yaroslavsky, I'd like to point out similarities between this project proposed by Harvard Westlake and the Bulgari project, using excerpts from the speech you gave during the May 16th City Council meeting with just a few minor tweaks. I'll begin now. The optics of this alone are terrible, and the conflict is real. As public servants, you have to hold yourselves to a higher standard to ensure transparency in your land use decision-making. At the very best, the optics are rotten, and you, as a city council, have an obligation to right the ship and to stand up to the backroom influence peddling that has corrupted our land use processes for decades. It erodes public trust in our institutions, and we have to root it out. We should stop throwing good city resources here after bad. The fact is, on the merits, this process should never have
General
been
public comment?
initiated to begin with, because the project is not a good idea. The community is overwhelmingly opposed to this project. Also, environmental groups like, in this case, Sierra Club, LA Climate Reality Project, Angelinos for Trees, the River Project, Citizens for LA Wildlife, Save LA River Open Space, and others are all strongly opposed to this project. That's because, as proposed, the Harvard Westlake project would build a luxury playground for the ultra-wealthy in a low-density residential community. If this appeal fails, you're essentially saying that
got
if
a
you have
barrel
enough
of water.
money
Look at her.
and can hire enough lobbyists in LA,
Got a barrel
you can
just
build
like me.
whatever you want, wherever you want, using
She
whatever
done
murky
seen the
shape you
Boozio,
see fit
Catherine
to
got
deploy.
me.
It's dangerous, it's unethical, and you have the opportunity to stop it right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Next caller. What items would you like to speak on?
She is a barrel.
Absolutely gross.
Speak with the last four digits 9421. Please press star 16 to mute yourself. Speaker, this is your final opportunity before we move on. 9421. Please press star 6 to mute yourself.
Well, I love it because it's so much water and I have to go
We
back.
will
and
move
forth.
on to the next speaker then.
Let me guess, none of the fucking other speakers are working.
Next speaker. What items would you like to speak on?
Fucking technical difficulties.
Good afternoon. This is Dr. Brock Landers, Los Angeles private detective. Hope you guys are having a good day.
Shout out to Brock.
I'd like to speak on open items and general public comment, please.
So the items that are open for public comment are 1 through 15, 35, and 46 through 61. So you have 3 minutes for the items. That's up to 1 minute per item, and 1 minute
That's
for
what it's
general
all
public
about,
comment.
Shirley. Having
Please begin
fun.
with the items.
Just not too much.
Thank you. To the people complaining about moving next to a golf course 30 years ago, not being able to use the land because you don't golf. That's about as smart as someone moving next to the ocean and then complaining that they can't use it because they don't surf or swim. Did you think they were going to invite you over to build sand castles in their sand traps? To the lady talking about non-native and evasive, that is a hell of a way to talk about our friends from the South. I'm not ready for your world of compromised values. You guys all sound ageist, not wanting older people to move into your neighborhood. It's not too late for some of you to become people of substance, but to the rest of you, I think you need to listen to our man Eric Previn and realize that this is just a corrupt thing you guys are doing. The guy that brought in the tree, my white oak is way more impressive than that. 51. Zac Efron is entertaining. I'm still a little irritated I don't get credit for being his ab double. And if he gets a star on the Walk of Fame, I think Stinks and Smoke and Scan should as well. 52, Hootie getting a star just for breaking through to all those frat house D-bags that listened to his music while they were roofing girls at USC. I'm not sure that's worthy of a star. 53. Since Home Alone, the best thing that Macaulay Culkin has done is Mila Kunis. While that's pretty cool, I don't know that deserves a star. And his accomplishment has been tarnished since she started slut-shaming and victim-blaming rape victims to stand up for that cult that still has Tom Cruise in the closet. General public comment. I want to talk about a missing person. Jordan Price is a missing 15-year-old girl from Lomita, California. You can find her picture or more information on her father's Instagram at Charles_Priceless. Jordan, the Smoke and Scam family is sending you good vibes and love. If anyone knows where Jordan is or who has her, please contact her father at Charles_Priceless. Damon, there's a picture in your email. To the people that are working to drive the small landlords out of business, you should look into BlackRock because those are going to be your new overlords. Your rent stabilization is going to disappear because BlackRock will have everyone at the horseshoe in their back pocket. This is just to drive out small business people in order for large corporations to take over more. Go out and do your best. Be bold, and mighty forces will come to your aid. You guys have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Next caller. What items would you like to speak on?
Soon, not now. Now, I know you're hungry, buddy. It's not now.
Speaker with the last 4 digits.
Thanks again, Brock.
3814.
There you go, guys. That's
What
Jordan
items would you like to
Price.
speak on?
The number is 510-406-0104. If you see her, please call.
35.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 35.
Thank you. I'm supporting the River Park. After the previous owners of Weddington decided to sell the
Charlene, thank you so much,
property,
Charlene.
many in the Studio City community wanted to find a buyer who would not build housing here and instead keep it as a recreational open space. That's exactly what Harvard Westlake proposes. And in the 6 years since they purchased the property, the school has met with the community countless times and made significant adjustments to their plans. What you're seeing today is a compromise. The plan does not give the school everything at once, and it gives the community daily access to this property.
It's not
just
time,
as it has
buddy. It's
today.
not time.
Tennis, walking trails,
No, you wanna
cafe,
eat. It's
a
not
putting
time.
green, and outdoor plazas. All of that is available
How?
every day, all day long. And the sports facilities will also be open for community use, similar to a park. The River Park is a sensible compromise, and I urge the council to support it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Next caller. What items would you like to speak on?
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Yes, which items would you like to
Hi.
speak on?
Yes, I want to speak on a bunch of them. 35, 44, 32, 31, 30, and general public comment.
Okay, so the only item that you listed that's open for public comment is item number 35. So you have 1 minute for item 35, but you can speak to all the other items during your 1 minute of general public comment. So please begin with item 35 first.
Oh, really quick, can I speak on 25, 26, 28, 30, 31,
No,
32, 33, or 44?
So speaker, the only items that are open for public comment are 1 through
great.
15, 35, and 46 through 61.
Okay, thank you.
She trolling?
So
I
you
guess,
have
yeah, general and 35.
She
you have 1 minute for item number 35 and 1 minute during general public comment, during
trolling?
which you can talk about any of the other items if you'd like.
Thank you. So 35 is, I'm there right now. It is a fully public park. It is open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And it is attached, okay, so there's the Zev Yaroslavsky pathway, like for walking, and then there's the Weddington golf course that it's attached to. And my issue with this project is that, yeah, okay, Weddington is sold to private Harvard Westlake. They can do that, right? But the project takes the whole Zev Yaroslavsky Greenway, and it gives them that too. And that is a public park, and that's a public natural resource, and they have no right to take that away from the public. And anything they do to it is going to be making it less public. So that is my issue with this thing. And yeah, the Zev Yaroslavsky Trail is home to baby hawk chicks.
General
They're really
public comment?
cute. Okay. First of all, I can't believe nobody has talked about Gaza yet. Like, we need a ceasefire. There's a genocide happening right now. We need a ceasefire. Secondly, in 2019, there was a motion, I believe it was CF 19-2010, or no, 1020. It was for a homelessness lived experience advisory type of board or commission. And that was brought by Mike Bonin and Marquise Harris Dawson in 2019. And how many items on the agenda are about homelessness, and yet you've not even bothered to finish forming the commission, and you don't even have public comment on homelessness committee meetings. Like, you need to allow call-in public comment on homelessness committee, and you need to finish forming that damn committee. Thank you. And Kevin De Leon, you need to resign, and also the
Caller, your time has expired.
Next speaker. What items would you like to speak on?
Hello? Hello?
Speak with the last four digits, 6297. What items would you like to speak on?
Item 35, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 35. Please begin.
Thank you. My name is Kyalani Welch, and I am speaking in support of Harvard Westlake's River Park. I want to commend Harvard Westlake for committing to opening the river park to many more people from the community beyond their own students. Every day it will be open to the public. Every day people can walk in the park, play tennis, have a picnic, or eat at the cafe. Community organizations will use the athletic facilities year-round when it's not in use by the school. Let's remember this is private property, and there's not many private property owners who would invite the public to use their new facilities like this. That's why I hope you will approve this project. I look forward to enjoying outdoor recreation with my daughter at River Park. Thank you so much.
Next speaker. What items would you like to speak on?
So many speakers, but yet not many in the room that they took. It's
Speak with
crazy.
the last four digits, 9511. Please press *6 to mute yourself. Speak with the last four digits, 9511. This is your last chance before we move on. Please press *6 to mute yourself.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Which items would you like?
Come on, hello.
Okay, next caller.
Next caller. What items would you
hello?
like to speak on?
That's what I'm gonna call in and do the whole fucking Beavis and Butthead drops.
Speak with the last four digits, 2680. Please press *6 to mute yourself.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Which
you
items
hear
would you
me?
like to speak on?
35, and then public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 35 and 1 minute for
Fire
general
the sound
public
guy
comment.
for sure.
Please
He's
begin
still
with
up
the
there
item.
trying to do some shit. Can't see him.
I'm opposed to the river park. I live a block away. If you have not had a chance to take a peaceful walk around Weddington Golf and Tennis, you should have. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes to walk all the way around, which we can already do without the river park. What you will find is a huge green 9-hole golf course so surrounded by old growth trees you can only see in on 3 of the holes. I don't play golf, but I walk around this facility daily as it has open fencing which will disappear with their new project. So I can see in on our beloved wildlife and birds. I've seen dozens and dozens of animals and bird species over my 27 years living by this green space. If Harvard Westlake really wants to utilize this property properly, they should recognize that they're educating what will be the first generation of climate change refugees and turn this green space into an educational natural refuge of sustainability where they can teach kids how to steward
General
the
public
land,
comment?
grow the tree canopy, and food, and what works and doesn't work when dealing with limited water supplies. Instead, the students are being taught that despite already having a huge gym, playing fields, and Olympic-sized pool, it's okay to be greedy and destroy entire natural habitats by paving the natural land with AstroTurf and getting whatever they want. Harvard Westlake alumni will be at the forefront of dealing with climate change and may even be some of the adults formulating new ideas about how to overcome its effects. This piece of land could be the most important thing in their curriculum instead of just being a bunch of redundant elite sports facilities for certain athletic members of the class. A few sports organizations want this facility, but they already exist and are already using facilities elsewhere. They don't need to destroy our green open space to exist because they already exist. It's a small neighborhood with no sidewalks on most of the streets, and it's only a matter of time till between the construction and the school buses and people driving late for practice.
Caller, your
there's
time
gonna
has
be a
expired.
Next caller. What items would you like to speak on?
Hello?
Speaker with the last four digits 3729. Please press star 6 to mute yourself.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Harchala, and I would like to speak on item 35.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 35.
Thank you. I support the River Park. I want to stress that in the 6 years since Harvard Westlake purchased this property, its plans have evolved to incorporate community input. Some members of the community wanted to preserve the clubhouse and cafe, the putting green, golf ball lights, and the school has done that. The school reduced the size of the gymnasium and removed diving from the pool. The tennis courts and fields have been relocated, and the parking spaces have been reduced. This plan represents a compromise. Undoubtedly, the school would have wanted more, and others in the community would have wanted less. When it's completed and open, I'm confident the school will continue to listen to the community to make sure this new facility suits their needs as well as their own. I urge the City Council to vote in support of River Park. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We're now going to go back to a few more speakers that we have here in the council chambers. So I'd like to call Maria Briones, Ogilvy Toscano.
Let's see if Spindler.
Jose Tlantechi, Sofia Mendoza, Elizabeth Hernandez, Leticia Flores,
and Mr. Spindler.
Sylvia Arenas,
and Mr. Spindler.
And Cesar Garcia, please.
All the activists. See, they were pissed. Oh, man. They're like, oh, wait. We came all the way down there and we can't even be heard? Oh, man. Guys,
good afternoon.
What's up, June?
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Ogilvio Toscano y soy miembro de SAGE.
And which item would you like to
Señor,
speak on?
segundo.
Quiero hablar del asunto 37.
I want to talk about item 37.
So item 37 is not. open for
I don't know,
public
Meat.
comment,
I
but
gotta
you can
fix
speak
this
to it during
first.
General, so you have
really
2 minutes for general public comment.
It's really fucked up.
Sí, estoy
Always
aquí.
something.
Yo
I'll
vivo
be
en
right
el
back, guys.
Distrito
I'm gonna
10,
feed him. He's bothering
y
me.
vengo para pedirle a mi concejal Heather Hadd al concejal Heather Hadd y a todos los concejales que por favor voten.
I'm here to ask you, to the council and to all of you council members, to vote.
Estoy aquí para pedirle al concejal Heather Hadd del Distrito 10 y a todos los concejales
Sí, porque casi no está hablando.
Estoy aquí para pedirle a Heather Hadd, el concejal del Distrito 10 y todos los concejales aquí presentes
I'm here to ask you, to the council member District 10 and all of you council members,
que voten a favor de la moción de Eunice Hernández
that please vote on favor of motion Eunice Fernandez
para congelar el aumento de las rentas y que no se aumente más del 3%.
to freeze rent control and to not allow it to increase more than 3%.
Ya que de no hacerlo, esto va a afectar a nuestra comunidad y a mí también me va a afectar bastante.
Because if you guys don't do it, it's going to affect our community and it's also going to affect me personally.
Aunque ustedes no lo crean, ahorita está pasando que hay muchos desalojos y aumentos excesivos.
Because if you guys do not believe this, right at this moment, they're evicting a lot of people and there are being a lot of increases.
Hay gente que está viviendo en la calle y no tiene cómo subsistir.
There are some people who are living outside on the streets and they don't know how to have a good quality life.
Y esto también conlleva otra cosa que es el acoso hacia los inquilinos para que se muden de sus hogares.
And they are also harassing us so we can move out.
Por eso es importante que se apruebe esta moción y que voten a favor de la comunidad. Gracias.
This is why I'm asking you to please vote on favor of this so you can protect our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak on?
Item 37.
Hold on just 1 second. Go ahead. So you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you very much. My name is Maria Briones, and I'm a member of ACE in the 8th District. So I'm here to ask Mr. Marquis Harris. I know he's not here because I don't see him. And the rest of the councils as well to support the Eunice's motion, the rent freeze and the increase as well, because there's already many people on the street. I'm a street vendor, and with the rent increase, I would not be able to pay the increase in the rent, so I'm going to end up on the street. I'm 68 years old, and I think I deserve to have at least one little corner where I could sleep in peace, as well as the rest of the people who has families, who has children, and there are many families living on the street already. We are asked for your support on this motion until the study is done and we find out exactly how it's going to affect all of us. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Michelle.
Next speaker,
Thank you.
please.
Appreciate you,
Good
Michelle.
afternoon.
Thank you.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Sofía Mendoza.
Good afternoon. My name is Sofia Mendoza.
Quiero hablar del punto 37 y comentario público.
I want to talk about on item 37 and public comment.
Sí, soy miembro de ACE y vivo en el distrito 9 y estoy con Kipilay House.
You're done eating and now you're paying again, huh? Got it.
I live on District 9,
just next
and
time,
I
don't
belong
feed
to
you.
triple A house.
Estoy aquí para pedir que extiendan el actual congelamiento temporal de alquiler por 6 meses.
I am asking you to please extend this rent control for the next 6 months.
Ya que yo soy una inquilina, sí, y voy a ser afectada porque solo mi esposo es el que trabaja y
Because I'm going to be severely affected because my husband is the only one who works.
sí, y donde vivo el propietario solo es un que renta solo es dueño de 4 apartamentos.
And where I live, the person who owns this building, it's the owner of 4 apartments.
Sí, y ahí en ocasiones ellos suben más la renta que no tienen moderación de aumentar la renta.
And sometimes they increase their rent so high that they don't, they're not careful on how much they're raising the rent.
Y eso nos afectaría a muchos, no nada más a mí.
And this would affect everyone, not only me.
Y apoyo la moción de la concejal Ulises Hernández.
And I support the motion of Council Member Ulises Hernandez
para congelar el aumento de renta.
To freeze the rent control.
Insisto a todos los concejales que por favor apoyen esta moción.
I ask all of you to please approve this motion.
Y también la ley Tajo. Gracias. Que la enforcen, por favor.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
He brought me what's left of the fishing pole, or one of them.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Hi, how are you?
Mi nombre es César García del Distrito 10,
My name is Cesar Garcia from District 10,
por la organización de SAGE.
from the organization SAGI.
Estoy aquí para ayudar a luchar por un techo para todos,
I am here to fight to have a roof under us,
para pedir a los concejales
to ask you, council members,
para que haya un congelamiento de renta y una extensión de 6 meses para que no haya un aumento de renta.
to please freeze the rent control for the next 6 months and do not allow an increase of rent.
para que otras personas tengan la oportunidad
So other people have the opportunity
que no sean desalojadas como me pasó a mí el día de ayer por primera vez después de 15 años en Los Ángeles. Dormí en un parque con mis 2 perros.
so they don't go through the same experience that I went through. Yesterday, I was evicted from my own place, and I had to spend the night with my 2 dogs for the first time in 15 years.
Y no le deseo a nadie que sufra frío. Yo con una condición médica tuve que dormir en un parque porque no me dieron la oportunidad de defenderme.
I don't wish this upon anyone. I had to go and spend the night. I have a medical condition, and I was put through this experience because I didn't have the opportunity to defend myself.
No recibí ninguna carta ni ninguna notificación y por eso yo pido a los
I did not receive a letter, a notification, or anything to be aware of this. That's why I'm asking you to all the council members.
Y por eso estoy apoyando estas mociones para que otras personas no sufran lo mismo que yo.
And this is the reason why I'm in support of this motion, so other people don't go through what I'm going through.
Por eso estoy pidiendo que den una oportunidad y hagan extensiones de congelamiento de rentas.
This is the reason why I'm asking for this opportunity, and I'm begging you to please give this rent control.
Gracias.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Okay? Make sure he's all right. You okay, buddy?
There will be no shouting out. Please remain silent while speakers are speaking.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Mi nombre es Leticia Flores y vengo a hablar de la proposición 37 del congelamiento de la renta.
My name is Leticia Flores, and I'm here to talk about item 37.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes, and the reason why we do 2 minutes is for the translation, and that would be for general public comment.
Okay. Soy residente de Boyle Heights.
I am a resident of Boyle Heights.
Y soy miembro del CPC.
And I'm a member of CPC.
Estoy aquí para solicitar que por favor hagan un congelamiento de renta.
I am here to request a rent control.
Porque de no hacerlo, más personas van a quedar viviendo en la calle.
Because if we don't do this freeze rent control, then we are going to end up on the street.
Mi comunidad es de clase trabajadora.
My community are workers.
Y si hay un aumento de renta, toda mi comunidad se va a ir a vivir a la calle.
And if we have an increase of rent, then my whole community is going to end up living on the street.
Las rentas están demasiado elevadas y ni siquiera teniendo 3 trabajos vamos a poder pagar la renta.
The rents are really high, and not even working 3 different jobs, we can afford this.
Esto no puede estar pasando. Cada día hay más personas viviendo en la calle.
This should not be happening. This cannot be happening. Every day there are more people living on the streets.
Ahora mismo en mi comunidad hay proyectos corporativos para hacer edificios que no nos van a beneficiar en nada a nosotros.
Right at this moment in my community, there are a lot of projects developing in different buildings that this is not going to benefit us at all.
Porque los proyectos son para personas que tienen para pagar la renta y nosotros no tenemos para pagar esos esos precios elevados.
Because these projects are going to benefit people who are able to afford these high rents. We do not have the money to pay this high rent.
Gracias.
Yeah, because he's one of the ones that
Thank you.
gets there very first.
Next speaker, please.
So he can't be denied. And then when they deny him and purposefully pick people behind him,
Good afternoon. If you could please
you know
remind
what's
us of the
happening.
name
You know
that
what I
you
mean?
signed up under
And notice that
items you would
they're
like to
that
speak
the
on.
translators hear it not over where it normally is.
My name
Or
is
she,
Silvia Arena,
he, you know what I mean. Good old technical
and I'm
difficulties.
going
That
to talk
sound
about
guy's terrible.
freeze rent control.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for general public comment.
Soy inquilina y vivo en Boyle Heights. Vengo de colectivo Poder Comunitario.
I'm a renter. I live in Boyle Heights, and I come from the colectivo Poder Comunitario.
Y quiero pedirles que aprueben la moción de una extensión de 6 meses.
And I want to ask you if you could please approve the extension for 6 months
Del congelamiento de renta para nosotros los inquilinos,
to freeze the rent control.
que estamos en las unidades de bajo control de renta en la ciudad de Los Ángeles.
That we're in the unit of rent control here in the city of de Los Angeles.
Yo soy una persona de bajos recursos y no podría pagar un aumento en mi vivienda, y lo más seguro es que yo pueda ser desalojada.
I have low income and I'm not able to afford a higher rent, and most likely I will have to be evicted.
La dueña me ha demandado en corte porque quiere rentar por más dinero. Ella me lo ha dicho.
I have been sued by the owner because she wants more money, and she has told me that she wants more money.
Y yo sigo luchando por tener un techo.
And I keep fighting to be able to have a roof.
En sus manos está que muchos inquilinos no
Translation's
seamos
great.
desalojados. Gracias.
It's in your hands, and most of us are able to keep our home and we're not thrown to the streets. Thank you.
Just
Thank
wait
you.
until all the illegals that just came in start
Next
coming
speaker,
in.
please.
What the streets will look like.
Good afternoon. If you
Be
could
awesome.
please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Mi nombre es Fausta Ortiz
My name is Fausta Ortiz.
y vivo en Boyle Heights
I live in Boyle Heights.
y pertenezco a la organización Poder Colectivo Comunitario.
I'm a member of the organization Poder Colectivo Comunitario.
Necesitamos que no se quite el congelamiento de renta
We need you to keep the freeze rent control
porque esto me afectaría a mí como a muchas familias.
because this would affect me and many other families.
Y mucha gente pues no tiene un trabajo fijo
Because many of us don't have a steady job,
y como ahorita están las rentas por los cielos,
and right now the rents are very high.
La comida, los biles están muy caros
Food, bills, and everything else is very expensive,
y no nos alcanzaría para pagar un aumento más de renta.
and we would not have enough money to pay an increase of rent.
Yo ahorita mismo estoy en corte
Right at this moment, I am at court
porque el dueño también me quiere desalojar
because the owner wants to evict me,
y con el aumento más de renta no podría salir.
and if they increase the rent, I would not be able to get out.
That's not
O
turning
pago
around.
renta o compro comida o qué hacemos.
I either pay rent or buy food, or what am I supposed to do?
Pues espero que escuchen mi comentario los concejales y que haga algo.
I hope that the council will listen to my comments.
Gracias.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Hernandez. I'm with ACE, and I'm also with the Clan Coalition. I live in District 9. I'm here to ask that the current temporary rent freeze be extended for another 6 months for units subjected to Los Angeles Rent Stabilization Ordinance. As an organizer with ACE and in the education chapter, I deal with a lot of parents and students who are struggling already, paying their rent. A lot of our students have to leave school in order to help their parents to pay for this rent. Now, if we increase the rent, what's going to happen? We're going to have a lot of more people, a lot of more students who are our future without that education because now they have to work to be able to pay this rent. So let's think about what's going to be the future. Okay, let's think about this rent increments. I can even have my son, who is 20 years old, be able to get his own place because he can afford it. He has to keep his education. And I have 2 other kids who are in the same, who's gonna struggle in the future with this rent increments. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Were there any other names that I've called? All right. We've now taken public comment for well over an hour and a half. So I'm going to close public comment on all agenda items and close
No,
general
Mr.
public
Spindler.
comment. And,
While he was waiting in
Madam
line.
Clerk, what is now available for us to vote on?
Mr. President, council may now vote on items 1 through 14, 46,
Fucking crazy.
47, 49 through 57, sir.
Okay, those items are now before
Goes to
us.
show they don't care.
Do any
See, at
members
that
wish
point,
to
they
be
should
heard
all
on
just
any of those
fucking make
items?
a ruckus and make it hard for them to do their
Mr.
business.
Spindler, be quiet.
Like that.
Be quiet. All right, those items are now before us.
Just bullshit. It's
Open the
violations of the
roll,
Brown Act.
Close the roll and tabulate the votes.
These
15 ayes.
people made their way there. And remember,
Thank
the
you. Madam
fire,
Clerk, what's
guys,
next before
is
us?
really
Next
close
would
to
be
here.
item
You're talking
15,
10-minute drive or less
Item
from where
15
they're
as
at to where
amended.
that fire was.
That item
So
is
you
now
got to know it's
before
really
us.
congested
Members,
in the
let's
area.
go. If no one wishes to
So
be
making
heard,
your
let's
way
open
there
the
right
roll,
now is even more crazy than what it
close
normally
the roll,
would
and
be.
tabulate the votes.
So
15
bullshit.
ayes.
All for this same shit.
Thank you. Item
fucked up.
number 26 is now before us as amended.
All right, guys, this is what I'm going to do because I really need to fix this even before tonight. So I need to, I'm just going to hop off now because the public comment is all of what we really come here for. We don't come here to hear these dicks talk about themselves and pat themselves on the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop off. I got a few things to do. I'm going to look into this, see, talk to Colton maybe real quick and see if there's a way I can fix it or help me fix it on the phone or whatever. Because it's really important that we have that other scene up, and it's still not working, as you can see. Yeah. So, you guys have a fantastic day. You should see me tonight. If not, like I said, I'm going to do my best. So, you guys have a fantastic day. I'll make it up to you if I'm not, on tonight. But I should be. I think we can fix it over the phone. I have that feeling. So, all right, guys, have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for everything, the likes, the love, the thumbs ups, the donations, and all the all-around fun. I appreciate you. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Go get your tacos. Peace.
Hasta la vista, baby.